We begin this hour in the Middle East, where there's growing concern over food shortages in Gaza, with the United Nations warning of looming famine. People living in isolated northern areas have told the BBC that children are going without food for days and animal feed is being used to make bread. With renewed fighting and aid convoys still regularly blocked from reaching some areas, half of Gaza's population is now in a food emergency, according to the UN. It says 1 in 4 households is facing a catastrophic lack of food. We start our coverage with this special report from our Middle East correspondent, Lucy Williamson.
In the middle of a war, a battle for survival. Men sent to fight over cans of beans and sacks of flour. The UN is warning that famine is coming fast to Gaza's northern areas as aid arrives more slowly. This, the first aid to arrive here for 11 days, brings crowds surging close to Israeli forces, who fire to push them back. In northern areas, residents say children aren't eating for days. In some places, they're tapping water from underground pipes.
We're back to the Stone Age, 30, 40, 50,000 years ago. We dig water out, filter it from sand, and use it for cooking.
The UN says Israel's army blocked more than half the aid deliveries to northern areas last month, and that child malnutrition has spiked.
When it comes to the flour, people are actually using animal feed. However, even the animal feed is starting to get scarce in the market and people are not finding it. When it comes to canned food, there is nothing left in the market, literally. What we had was actually from the 6 to 7 days of truce that we had at the beginning of this war, and whatever aid was allowed into Gaza and the north of Gaza has actually been consumed by now.
The World Food Programme told us that 4 out of its last 5 aid deliveries to northern Gaza were blocked by Israel.
This shouldn't be a logistics crisis. It shouldn't be a logistics problem. We're in the Mediterranean. There's enough food to buy around this region to feed 2.2 million people and prevent a famine in the Gaza Strip. But the issue is access. The issue is being able to get that food to people.
Israel says it needs to control aid to prevent food and fuel reaching Hamas. For some Israeli protesters, that's not enough. They've been blocking border crossing points to try to force Hamas to hand over Israeli hostages.
Even with talk of a hostage deal, protesters are demanding a siege. Aid is a lifeline for Gaza, but here they say it's a lifeline for Hamas.
3 miles from the Israeli border, European planes airdrop supplies to the Jordanian hospital in Gaza City. Solutions here are getting more extreme. Military planes over Gaza point to its devastation, even when they're carrying aid in place of bombs. Lucy Williamson, BBC News, Jerusalem.